Many of these forgotten foods have almost vanished from today's gardens. Others survive only because a few gardeners and seed savers refuse to let them disappear. Imagine waking up 100 years ago. The sun is just beginning to rise over a small American farmhouse. A rooster announced the start of a new day. Before breakfast is served, there are chores to be done, animals to tend, and a garden to care for. Life was different then. There were no supermarkets open around the clock, no refrigerated trucks bringing produce from thousands of miles away, no grocery delivery arriving at the front door. For many families, the difference between a full table and an empty one began right outside the back door. Children learned responsibility at an early age. Gardens were not hobbies, they were an important part of everyday life. Every row of corn, every bean vine, and every squash plant helped put food on the table. When harvest season arrived, families worked together to preserve what they had grown. Pantry shelves filled with jars. Root cellars stored vegetables through the long winter months. Little was wasted because every harvest mattered. Around the supper table, knowledge was passed from one generation to the next. Conversations were about which crop stored the longest, which survived the drought, which would feed the family when times were hard. Many of those foods were once known across America. Some were treasured for their flavor, others because they were reliable. A few seem almost impossible to kill. But today, many Americans have never heard of their names. But for generations, these foods help fill pantries, feed families, and carry people through very difficult times. Their stories are part of America's story. Let's step back in time and rediscover the forgotten foods that America once knew well and then left behind. Before we reveal the first crop, if you are enjoying this journey through America's forgotten foods, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. It really helps more people discover these stories. Thank you. For many generations, purple hull peas was a familiar sight across many southern gardens. Their vines thrived in the summer heat, producing basket after basket of colorful pods. But what many people remember most wasn't the harvest itself, it was what happened afterward. As the day's work came to an end and the summer heat slowly began to fade, front porches often became gathering places. Metal bowls rested in laps, purple pods piled high in baskets nearby. Hands moved almost without thinking, shelling peas one after another. Children might start helping out, only to become distracted by the stories being told around them. Grandparents spoke about season long past. Neighbors stopped by for a visit. Laughter drifted across the yard. In many homes, shelling purple hull peas was not simply a chore, it was part of the rhythm of summer. Now, if you walked a little farther down that old garden road, you might notice something even stranger: walking onions. Unlike ordinary onions, these produce little bulb clusters at the top of their stalks. As the clusters became heavier, the stalks bent toward the ground. Eventually, the bulbs rooted themselves and began growing again nearby. Year after year, the onions seemed to wander across the garden. To someone seeing them for the first time, they almost looked as if they had a secret all on their own. Instead of staying neatly in one row, new plants would appear where the top bulbs have touched the soil. A gardener might point to a patch and say, "Now those were not there last year." Children often found the idea fascinating. An onion that walked sounded more like something from a storybook than something growing in the garden. Yet season after season, the onions quietly continue their journey. To the children, they almost felt magical. Not far away, another curiosity often waited to be discovered: ground cherries. At first glance, they did not look like fruit at all. Each berry hid inside a delicate paper husk that resembled a tiny lantern. Children loved finding them. There was something almost magical about them. The papery husk rustled in the breeze like tiny lanterns hanging among the leaves. Some children searched for them the way others search for hidden treasures. The reward came when the husk was peeled back, and on the inside was a golden fruit, sweet and surprising, hidden in plain sight the entire time. For many people, the memory stayed with them long after childhood. Peeling back the husk revealed a sweet golden fruit that tasted unlike anything sold in modern supermarkets. Many people who grew them never forgot the experience. Beneath the soil, however, another forgotten food was quietly multiplying: Jerusalem artichokes. Despite the name, they are not from Jerusalem and they are not artichokes. Their real treasure grows underground. These knobby tubers could produce impressive harvests with very little attention. During difficult times, families appreciated crops that could be counted on year after year. An almost guaranteed harvest was a trait shared by many forgotten foods. Among the most impressive was candy roaster squash. Some varieties grew so large that a single squash could feed an entire family. Their size alone could stop people in their tracks. Resting on a wagon or stretched across the porch, some appeared almost too large to be real. Children sometimes measured themselves against them. Visitors stopped to admire them. Yet candy roasters were more than a curiosity. Their sweet flesh made them valuable in the kitchens throughout the fall and winter. Families who grew them often saved seeds carefully, knowing they possessed something worth passing on to the next generation. In the Appalachian Mountains, families carefully saved their seeds from generation to generation. Certain strands remained in the same communities for decades, becoming part of a local heritage. As summer gave way to cooler weather, another forgotten crop began to shine: maypops. Some were found along fences, fields, and woodland edges. Its exotic flowers looked almost tropical, and its fruit hid beneath tangled vines. Children often searched for ripe maypops late in the season, eager to discover the sweet pulp inside. To many Americans, it was a wild treasure hiding in plain sight. These crops once anchored the rhythm of everyday life. They carried the stories, harvest traditions, and resilience of our ancestors, passed down seed by seed across generations. Today, most survive only in scattered gardens and the memories of those who remember them. Yet, forgotten does not mean gone. It is more than just gardening. As long as someone kneels to plant the seed, shares the history behind the harvest, and saves the yield, the past remains alive. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.